Hello and welcome to A Cuppa with So Timeless with me, Rowena. Today I am having a cuppa with you, hopefully, and I am going to be continuing with making the 1950s dress, which is white with the blue sort of stripe pattern, which I was cutting out before. So this fabric, I have just been ironing on all my interfacing, so I need to cut that out. And I thought that would be a good time to have a little chat today while we do that. So one thing I wanted to have a little chat about while I was doing this is the fact that my fridge broke this last week. So that has been a lot of fun, but it certainly did put me in mind of vintage times and got me to thinking, what would life have been like without a fridge at all? Because pretty much been doing without a fridge at all. The freezer part is working strangely, just not the fridge. Hopefully be getting a new fridge in the next couple of days. But for the last week, been learning to do what we can to keep milk as fresh and cool as possible, and frozen as much stuff as I could out of the fridge. Unfortunately, I had to chuck a few things, which is sad in this time when everybody is trying to save money, including myself. But what can you do? These things are unexpected. I was having a look and seeing what sort of era it was that fridges became a popular item. When were they developed? And it was interesting looking back at how they were developed and how originally it was just the scientists looking at a way that they could get a machine to freeze water into ice. That was the concept initially, and that then developed into the idea of a refrigerator, which could be used within the house, within businesses, within restaurants, to keep food cold, to freeze things. One of the first fridges back in, I think it was the 1910s, was called an icebox, where it literally was a compartment where a block of ice was put in to keep everything cool in the area beneath. So it became quite a popular thing to have. I'm sure you've seen it in the movies like I have. The ice person come around with their big blocks of ice that they would be selling to you to be able to make your icebox work, because without those your icebox wouldn't work. And it was only really in the 1920s, 1930s that the fridges became a bit more affordable, a bit more possible for people to have. Also, as electricity started coming into more houses, they could then start using electric motors to run the freezers, and things were developed from there. But interestingly, it was the 1950s where the most households really started to have fridges as an everyday thing in their houses. I say most, it was something in the region of, I think, something like 38% of households had fridges in their house, which is not a huge amount really in the greater scheme of things, but it's still a fair amount. And it was interesting as well to note that even nowadays, there's not 100% of people in households who have fridges. It's actually only something like 97 to 98% of people who have a fridge available to them in their house for everyday use. So those were very interesting little facts I came across as I was thinking about what life would be like without a fridge. And I must be honest, I think I prefer having a fridge to not having a fridge. So much time spent having to go to the shops on a regular basis in order to be able to get stuff fresh, with limited space to keep things cool. So I'm very much looking forward to having a fridge again. So that's everything I know about fridges at the moment. I might know more next time I speak to you, who knows? But I think I've pretty much exhausted that topic. So back to sewing. And I just wanted to point out, I made myself this oversized shirt yesterday, which I'm very pleased with. It came out exactly as I was wanting it to come out. I've got my good old poppers again. I do have sort of become quite in love with these poppers instead of buttons. They're so much easier for doing up and down, especially with these shirts that you wear over something else. It makes it a lot easier. But I thought with this in-between weather coming, the warmer weather starting, a nice oversized shirt to wear over a t-shirt with my jeans or trousers was just what was needed. And I had this fabric which I absolutely love, to make it out of. So I was very pleased with the result of that. And it didn't take me too long to run up because it's oversized, because it's pretty straight. There's not much shaping to it, which was intentional with this particular shirt. It just really didn't take very long to run up at all. And I wanted the whole effect to be oversized, so the cuffs are slightly baggy as well, but they are actually the right size that if I want to pull the sleeve up, it will stay up in that area there, which is quite nice for the warmer days. And this particular t-shirt goes to around that area. And it also is possible to roll the cuff up. I don't need a button on it, and I can roll it up as far as I would like to, if I would like to. But perfect for these in-between days of weather, to pop on, to go out, take off when it's getting warmer, and just have the t-shirt on that I'm wearing underneath. Absolutely perfect for what I was intending it for. That's the beauty of sewing clothes, is you can manipulate patterns, you can design your own patterns, and you can make garments the way you want them, the way you've envisaged envisaged them, and yeah, have a wardrobe that suits your style, suits what you want. I must say there's been a number of years where I haven't sewn for myself, and my wardrobe has become a bit of a mess and a haphazardness of clothes, and I'm working on rectifying that. I've got some really lovely pieces of fabric in the cupboard waiting to be made into various garments once I've decided exactly what I want to make. Right, so I have done my interfacings and cut them out. So I have my front facings for the dress. We have the collar, and we have the sleeve cuffs, of which there are two. Now, I have to be honest and tell you a little joke. So I was preparing the pieces for putting the interfacing on, and I had everything all together, and I was sorting them into piles of what the different pieces were so that I can work with them easier. And the cuffs for the sleeves and the collar were lying on top of each other, and they are very similar in shape. So a very similar shape. The collar is bigger though, but I didn't notice the way it was lying together. I didn't notice that one piece was bigger, and I thought, why have I got 6 cuffs cut out? Have I really gone that mad that I've cut 6 cuffs out when I need 4 cuffs? because I need the piece with the interfacing and then the other side that will be stitched onto it. And I need 2 collars. I couldn't find the collar anywhere. And then I realized that actually one piece was bigger and there was the collar, if that makes sense. Right, so my interfacings are all done, and I've been talking the hind leg of a donkey, for use of an very old term. I'm going to be quiet for a while now and start doing some sewing together, and then I'll be back for some more chatting. Okay, I've made some progress here. So I've done some stay stitching around the neckline. Stay stitching is basically just a line of stitching not far from the edge of the fabric on a curved edge to help it keep its shape as you attaching another piece. So yeah, on the neckline I'll be putting the collar on, and it's just to prevent it from pulling and coming out of shape as I attach the collar. I've also finished off all the edges, finished off the edges of the sleeve tops which I'd sewn earlier, finished off the edges of the facings, so they're ready to attach next. So they just finished off nicely. The collar's all sewn together and top stitch, so that's ready to put on. And I've put the darts in and ironed them flat, so they look all nice and neat, hopefully, now. But you can see here where I've sewn the dart, following the lines I'd marked on when I did the pattern cutting, and then just sewn them flat so they lie flat. So there's some dots on the front, and there's a few on the back as well. And the dots are just really there to give some shaping and pull in. The bottom ones are to pull the waist in a bit, so when we attach the skirt on, it's not all big and bulky like my oversized shirt. So that it's not big and bulky, so there's some shaping to it. It'll be more obvious once I sew the blouse together, and then I can pop it onto Dolly and show you how the shaping works. But next I'll be putting the facings on and attaching the collar, and then I think after that it will probably be putting the cuffs onto the sleeves. But let's get the facings and the collar on first and see how we get on from there. I decided to finish the collar off slightly differently to the usual way that they do in the patterns, and I've got away with it. And it was a lot less steps involved and actually quite a nice neat finish to the inside there. So I might use this method again if I can remember it next time. And both sides are nice and neat, and the collar will fold over nicely with the facings. And probably still need to just stitch down the edge of the facing there very slightly just to keep it in place. But overall, I'm really happy with how the actual finish has come out and how well it all fitted together in there. So I will definitely look at doing that again. And I do apologize for the noise. Tilly is, yes, supposedly sleeping with me, but has decided to bark at the rain. So next steps, probably will just stitch that down there, just a little hand stitch probably just to hold that down so it's not flapping around all the time, especially when someone's trying to wear it. It should keep it nice and flat and in place. And then we will, I think the next step is looking at getting the cuffs onto the sleeves so that we can then start sewing the rest of the bodice part together before looking at the skirt. So I will keep going.